So here we may have the best possible solution for foams for the 1.0s and 1.3s yet. Now I say maybe because I haven't ran these yet. I'm not sure, but in my mind, this is the perfect combination. These are the Munchkin inserts from Exocaged RC. And with these, we can have our cake and eat it too. So most of the time, I run an insert on at least the front of these things because you don't want to be losing your steering angle with these trucks. They're not super heavy trucks, so a lot of times you really don't need them. And I feel like I get a lot of bounce with the printed inserts. So usually I run just a foam in the rear to kind of offset that, to help me kind of grab a little more on uphill. And sometimes, like when you're turning going uphill, that will actually fold and kind of help you turn. So normally I run an insert front, foam rear. With these, I feel like I'm going to be able to run my foam that I really love, but keep my sidewall. See that? So we've got this really nice firm sidewall here. So this tire actually has one of these installed already. You can see we've got a good squish, but this sidewall is rock hard. Now I may still just run these in the front. I don't know. I'm gonna install all four and we'll see how it runs. But I do get just a little bit less squish out of this than say this is a printed insert of some sort. I don't even remember what's in there, but it isn't a printed insert. And we get a little less squish. Like I'm pushing as hard as I can on both of these right now. So you can see there, tiny bit less. And honestly, we can almost shave this down a hair. This is what's in here, the 57. Maybe, and have just a little bit less. But I think these are gonna work, and we're gonna find out. So we have them in a 57, a 63, and a 1.3, maybe for something like these. So I'm gonna figure out a tire that I wanna put on here. I have these that Endura sent over. Guys, I can't do this. I can't run a tire this freaking big. Like, even on one of these, it's too much. We just keep going bigger with these tires. I mean, I have 1.55s and 1.9s for my 10 scales. I don't need a 10 scale tire on my 24s and 18s. Sorry, I love these wheels, Endura, but these tires too big. They're out. Maybe if you guys are building a monster truck or something, look, this is absolutely massive, okay? But anyways, we're focusing on these inserts. So let's get these installed and go run it. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys in on my brainstorming here. Are you ready? Okay, so my thinking is I almost always downsize when I'm going with an insert like this. So in this tire, I usually try to run a little bit smaller. I just prefer more squish. So this right here is exactly what's in this tire. I had these two in the front, foams in the rear. So you can see how much squish I'm getting there before I kind of bottom out with all I can get on the inner ring, basically. And then here, we're not getting quite as much. It's because this is almost the same diameter as this, all right? So these are 57s. These are supposed to be like 63. They measure more like 60, 61. So for me personally, I think I would probably run something like the 57 in something like this, or a true like 64 millimeter tire maybe. Maybe not quite that big. Those are 68s. So I don't know, maybe the 63, wherever it went. I don't know where it went. Yeah, 63 here. Maybe that in there. But I don't know. We're gonna try it in all four just to see. But I think these 57s, for me personally, I would probably want just a little bit larger tire. I think like maybe the Endura pins or something like that, these would be perfect in. So maybe we'll try that at some point. But I mean, we do get a good squish here. I'm just afraid we're gonna bottom out on that and be getting that bounce at times, but that's why we're testing these. So that's just my thought process I wanted to kind of share with you guys since it's so amazing.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I know nothing. I just play with toys. So I'm going to get these other two put in. We'll go run these. So my testing with these is a bit limited, but I did find out I would definitely upsize quite a bit. So run a very small Munchkin in a larger tire. So here I'm running the 57 Munchkin in these 68 DJ crawlers, and I think this is the perfect combination. In the smaller tires that measured around 60, I just wasn't getting enough conforming. I was bottoming out on that hard inner section too quickly, so I didn't have enough foam on the outside to really get what I wanted. So it was like I was really just riding on like super firm wheels and tires, so I didn't have squish. So I really think if you just upsize on your tire, they're great. I put them in these DJ crawlers and they worked amazing. You'll see I pulled some really great lines with this thing. So you'll see on some of these side hills that I'm losing 0 of my turning. Look at that. So I'm not getting a ton of squish just yet. That's partly just the tires being new and the foams that came with these. These did come with the dual stage DJ crawler foams. So basically just took out the inner dual stage part and stuffed the foam in there over top of the Munchkin. So I could possibly cut that foam down just a little bit, but having the Munchkin in there, these are holding really good. Look at that. Even with the pressure on the front there, it's not folding over at all. So I was actually very impressed with these. I just think it's going to take a little playing around. You know, I mean, that's part of tires and foams, is just testing and tuning and getting what fits and works for you. I would like to have a little more squish with these, so maybe I could trim this foam down a bit. But the Munchkin works great in there, having that sidewall. Like I said, I would just plan on running a smaller Munchkin in your larger tires. So I'm not really sure if I could get these to work properly in a like 57 millimeter tire or something like that. We'll have to see what Exo's got cooking. Maybe he can make us some even smaller ones, you know. But for me personally, this is a really good combination. So I think maybe we could use these even in like, I don't know if they would fit the Endure pins, but some of your larger tires, these 57s are going to work great for me personally. And I was very impressed with how this thing ran with them. When I put these wheels on here, this thing was sitting pretty narrow. And at first I was like, that's going to be a big deal. Like I had to kind of get a little more straight on to some things. But once I learned how to really drive it sitting super narrow, the thing was amazing, because it could go a lot of places where you can't get a wider truck. And then with the steering on these axles and the clearance that we were getting from these 68 millimeter tires, like it just worked. So I'm very impressed with this setup, and I think these Munchkins are definitely a great way to go. We're just gonna have to play around with what tires we want them in and how we want our foams, you know. So that's all kind of personal preference, but I do like that we have this option to sort of tune, you know, and you can set your foam up a little more like you want, versus just getting a printed insert it's 57 millimeters or it's 60 millimeters or it is what it is, you know, and then you got to worry about it fitting this or that. These, you can kind of tune your foams like we normally do in a 10 scale or something to fit your style and your truck weight and that sort of thing. So you guys let me know what you think about these. I like that we get the sidewall support, but we get the tuning. You know, that's just really something you don't get with your standard printed insert. It is what it is, unless you like cut on it or something.
which usually makes them not work well. But this, you can get your super firm inner layer and then tune the outer. So in my opinion, going to be a great way to go. Obviously, something you're just going to have to play around with and figure out what works best. I did purchase these. I just seen that Joe had them, and I purchased one set, and then he did throw in like the 1.3s for me to try out and stuff because, well, he just wanted to get my opinion on them, honestly. And so, you know, I decided to do a review on them, check them out myself. He didn't come to me and ask for me to show him anything like that. So this is 100% my opinion on them, and I actually love them. Just got to get them dialed, you know, and that's the case with any Willen tire and foam. You know, people always ask me what's the best tire, and it's like there really is no best tire. You know, it varies from truck to truck. It's crazy how much it varies. So these are definitely worth checking out. I think right now he just has the 57 is the smallest, and then like the 63, and then a 1.3 version. So maybe we can get him to make us a little smaller one for some of the smaller tires. The 57 may work in some of the like 63, 65, true 63 millimeter tires with a little bit of work. But for me personally, they just work better going in like these 68s. So definitely worth checking out though for like $6 for two. So if you want it all for, you know, $12 plus probably a little shipping, maybe $15, something like that. You could definitely just run two of these in the front, you know, and then still just run your foams in the rear. So that's kind of up to you, just more tuning. So I appreciate you guys hanging out, and look for a lot of cool crawling coming. I didn't find much. This is actually in Branson, and I didn't really find much there. I had somebody reach out, and I was going to try to crawl with them while out there, but it just wasn't a lot that I found in the area we were. I'm sure it's there. It's just, you know, one of those things when you don't know the area, you got to find it. So did find this spot that was really cool, had some awesome stuff, but it was a very small spot. So, you know, he kind of went through it quick. But I got a lot of really cool lines in this one spot. So a lot of cool stuff coming, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell. Peace.
Bro, what?